man is decomposing visibly now. Every hour, he looks less like a creature and more like a pile of intestines. The lieutenant adjusts his glasses and takes a deep breath.
Okay, so we have a 97%. Knows there's a bullet in there. Let's do it.
Your arms reach out and your eyes close, as if by their own volition. It's dark all around. You feel cold, slippery flesh, first with your fingertips, then under the palm of your hand.
Here we go.
His face, his cheeks, his nose, his fat, swollen lips. Like a spider, your hand crawls over his features. Everything is silent.
Put your fingers in his mouth.
The oral cavity is cold and moist. A ball-like tongue attaches itself to the base of the mouth, lolling around like a scallop.
Play with it, this feels right.
The tongue moves freely in the cavity. The mucus of the mouth is slippery, delicate to touch. From the soft meat, teeth are budding. Hard pearls of bone in the gums and in the back of the mouth. Can you feel it? You're so close. Rip his jaws open now. Look in.
Open your eyes and look.
A vision of black and dark red death, pried open by your naked hands and studded with teeth. Looks like he's laughing. Death fumes rising from the throat, and there, in the back of his mouth, above the bell of the uvula, right in the soft palate, you see a hole, barely visible to the human eye. It is swollen shut, almost vanished. No larger than 0.4 centimeters in radius, the edges appear darkened.
This is it.
Keep going.
Kuno nods too. He takes a step closer.
Touch it with your fingers gently.
A black trickle of liquid runs into his throat from the wound.
Put your finger in.
Your index fits right in there. A tight tunnel of flesh opens up. Tissue damage. Wide enough for 2 fingers. As you push both in, you reach through his mouth, right into his brainstem.
The fuck is happening? Ah, shit, see?
Brainstem.
Yes, that's what this part is called.
Feel around first.
The basal ganglia feels clumpy. The bullet has torn apart his reptilian complex. The funk soul brother at the back of his head has gone dark forever.
Push deeper.
Your fingers slide into the remains of his limbic system. There is no resistance. It's gelatinous. The slug-like structures are damaged too. The tearing extends deep into both hemispheres.
There's a cavity here, cut right between the hemispheres.
The lieutenant answers with the sound of his pen on paper.
Fucking cavity, see?
Push deeper.
Your fingers are all the way in now, reaching toward the inside of his skull. The cavity goes further, but the entry wound isn't wide enough for the rest of your hand to follow.
Wriggle in.
Your fingers reach toward his skull. His cerebral cortex feels like jelly. Cold jelly. Strange fluid streams down your wrist as you push deeper until you feel it on the tip of your finger. Sharp, serrated material. The edges cut right into your skin. This must be the bullet.
Fish it out. No, come on! I almost had it.
You push your hand further in. The bullet keeps rolling between your fingers as you beckon it to come out.
Little help, Lieutenant.
Out comes his small folding knife. The lieutenant moves its blade across the man's skull, searching for the exit wound.
There.
Withdraw your hand 4 centimeters, please.
Ah, yeah.
Pull your finger back and nod.
With a crack, he punches the knife in the skull. Then, one more time, and one more, until the bone comes loose, like eggshell. Inside, you feel the jello move from his poking. The bullet is still under your finger.
Can you push it out?
Push.
A fractured piece of lead, like a flower, blossoms from the man's head, followed by your finger.
Beautiful!
A bullet. Unknown calibre. Rifled. You may remove your hand from the victim's head now, officer. Well done. Here is your prize.
Evidence, fractured bullet.
We need to add an item to the injury list. Injury number 4. Oval entry wound with an abrasion color. Soft palate, back of mouth. High velocity. Temporary cavity in brain tissue. Small exit wound on the occiput. How does that sound?
Sounds like heaven.
Opinion, fatal injury.
This concurs with the Hardy Boys story.
And one last thing. We should amend injury number 3, ligament mark. Treatment. It's obvious the Hardy Boys tampered with it.
We should have known.
I had my doubts. There were no signs of a struggle on his hands. No claw marks on his neck. But still.
His brow furrows while his eyes glaze over. The lieutenant looks regretful for not figuring this out before.
Maybe the bullet holds more answers.
Yes, we should take a closer look at it. I am certain it has more to tell us.
This little thing could reveal much about the weapon that shot it.
I think I need to wash myself.
Oh, you really do. I am glad to hear you say that. Your room in the Whirling in Rags should come with a bathroom. Be sure to make use of it in the evening.
What happens next?
We bag the corpse and carry him to the holding pen of my kinema. I can transport him to processing myself, but I will be gone for the rest of the day.
You'll be gone. What should I do then? In meanwhile?
Work on the case. Tend to personal matters. Try not to do anything too dangerous. An officer needs backup in a neighborhood like this. I'll leave that choice to you. And one more thing. Great work, detective.
Great work, detective. Okay, so yeah, if we bag him up now, Kim will be gone for the rest of the day, and I will be alone. And so, I don't really want to work on the case alone, because, you know, my character is so dumb and doesn't know how to do anything himself. So, I think I'm gonna send the body away later, when it's close to night time. And then I can send Kim away without any problems. For now, we can go now and speak with Clausia again, for the last time, I hope. But first, let's inspect the bullet. So here it is.
The bullet is safely sealed away in a plastic bag bearing the RCM stamp. Kim has filled out the label on the bag with the item number, case number, and date and location the bullet was found.
What do I do with you, bullet?
What?
I said, what do I do with you, bullet?
Well, if I was the bullet, which I'm not, I would say, find the weapon that shot me.
Good idea.
If we find who owns it, we will have likely found who used it, possibly to kill our victim. In conclusion, the more we know about this bullet of yours, the better.
Feel the bullet through the bag.
The squashed bullet has some sharp edges where the jacket has split open. It feels cold, even through the bag.
Inspect the bullet closer.
The jacket of the bullet is made of a yellowish metal. It has blossomed out to reveal a dark grey core. The base of the bullet is close to 5 millimeters in diameter.
Look at the jacket.
You can just about make out a few striations near the base of the bullet. Little hairlines, linear. It feels standard.
And the core?
It's quite destroyed. Some of the fragments are still lodged in the wound.
What can you say about the bullet so far?
It's a jacketed bullet close to 5 millimeters in diameter.
A jacketed bullet. Okay. It would have been shot from a military-grade breech-loading rifle, not from a muzzleloader like those typically found on the streets of Martinez. Even the RCM uses ordinary unjacketed conical bullets. This is strange. Very strange. I like this, officer. Strange means unique. Unique means incriminating. We need to find the gun that shot it.
Okay.
You can't remember what happened last week. What makes you think you're going to remember arcane firearm models?
Okay, put the bullet away. So yeah, we know that the bullet is from an antique weapon.
It's always good to see you.
The Hardy Boys told us what really happened.
I understand.
You sent us on a runaround.
I know. For what it's worth, I'm sorry. For all of this, for wasting your time.
Why did you waste our time then?
Because of the Hardys. I couldn't just dispense with them. They were only trying to help me out of the shit I'd gotten into.
That's not good enough for a reason.
You're right. There's more.
More?
You answer to the coalition government, and by extension, the moral intern.
What's the RCM's involvement with the moral intern got to do with this?
You share a database with them. You send people to their courts.
What's going on? What did you do?
Just business. But bad business for some people in the moral intern. If I show up in your records, officer, they will find me.
Okay.
They will
What happens if they do?
kill me, sir. If you file my name, take me in for questioning, enter me into the moral intern mill, well, then I'm fucked. For nothing. This murder didn't have anything to do with me.
What did you do to have these people after you?
It's not nice, but it's not illegal. Not here in Revachol, or even in Oranje.
What exactly did you do?
Industrial espionage. I joined a business collective with the intention of betraying them. I did my job well enough to be asked to do it again. With a bigger company. The kind you really, really don't fuck with. I took their ledgers, 2 decades worth of accounting.
I need the names of the companies involved and who hired you.
The job was Lewes-Duin County Savings Bank. They sound small, but they're part of the Lewes-Scott conglomerate. That was the second job. The first was some printer company. You wouldn't know them. As to who hired me for the job, I don't know. But they're after me too, along with Lewes-Scott and their friends in the MI. Once you're done in the competitive intelligence circuit, you don't have allies. You're radioactive.
You're right, this is bad. You've destroyed what people have built.
I am. I am a destroyer. People lost their jobs. Good people. Not just C-suite assholes. And the way I got into accounting. A lot of people got hurt. But that's just more of my shit you shouldn't have to deal with. You're solving a murder.
What happened here the night he died?
We were there. Together. In bed, I mean.
Tell me exactly what happened.
Okay. He was in a kneeling position. He had just entered me. I was on my back, looking at him. I heard the window behind me shatter, and I turned to look. There was a hole in the glass.
Okay.
I turned back to him. His eyes were looking through me, and his mouth was open. Dumb. I could see. I could.
Her chest rises and falls with each word. She keeps herself together and says it.
I knew he was dead. Before he fell down on top of me.
Then what happened?
He was heavy. I pushed him off and he fell to the floor. There. He only had his boots on. I bit the pillow, not to scream, then ran downstairs.
There's a long pause. She just stands there at her arms at her side.
I waited for the second shot to come. For me. I thought there would be one. It never came.
That's a motherfucker.
Yeah, it was a real motherfucker. Ow.
Cigarette has singed her fingers.
She throws it away and immediately proceeds to light another one.
What time was this? When did it happen? It would help us if you could be as precise as possible.
11:30 to 12:15. I don't know the exact time. Around midnight.
Okay.
It's okay. Were you inebriated?
Not as much as usual. He'd done a line, plus other things. I was drinking.
So you were drunk.
Did you hear or see the shooter in the course of this?
No,
What did you do then?
nothing. I was trapped. I was stuck in my room downstairs. I got some clothes on and crawled back up, drew the blinds. Blood was coming from his mouth. Not a lot. Just a little. He was still on the floor, slouched. I couldn't be there with him anymore. So I ran down and out of my room, into the hallway, down the stairs. I knew there would be people there.
What happened after you ran downstairs?
Sylvie was tending the bar. A lot of people were there. The Hardys were at the table in front of the stage. I think the Union box was full. Ruby was there too. They were having such a good time. I sat down and they all welcomed me. I didn't even have to say anything. Ruby knew something was wrong.
Before we continue, who is Ruby?
Ruby. You know, the leader.
So she is the associate that Titus Hardy talked to us about.
The leader? Of what?
The Hardy Boys.
I thought the Hardy was the leader of the Hardy Boys.
Well, nominally, yes. Ruby's the one they go to when things happen, like things they need taken care of. She's the organizer.
Would you say she is the 8th Hardy Boy?
She probably is.
Why not?
Okay, let's go on. What then?
Well, Ruby said let's talk upstairs. I showed her the room. I've known these people since December. They know my situation, that I can't leave a paper trail. Ruby was the first one I told. She said she'd take care of this. It's what she does, you know, take care of things. I helped her get the body to the bathroom. We used a belt to pull him up under the shower, to keep him upright.
To produce lividity, matching a hanging?
Yes.
So you faked the lividity.
We completely missed the tampering. Looks like you got there in time. What was this, 20 minutes after death?
Oops.
Oops, visual calculus failed.
About 20, yes. Ruby explained it would make the blood... You know what he does.
Then what did you do?
Ruby went outside to talk to Titus and the boys. I was just looking at Lely in the bathroom. I had to put his clothes back on. His armor, too. It was tough, but I've seen him take it off and put it on many times.
So you knew how he put on his armor?
It took Ruby maybe half an hour to come back with Titus. I'd gotten him ready by then. They carried him out. I knew what they were going to do. Make it look like a hanging. Ruby said they would.
What did you do while they were hanging him?
Ruby said to wait here. She also said I wouldn't see her for a while. That we should lay low or something. So I did.
This Ruby, where is this Ruby now?
I don't know. I haven't seen her since.
We will need to take this question to the Hardy Boys.
Okay, so yeah, we need to go back to Hardy Boys, but let's just do all this dialogue with Glacier so we don't have to do it later. What happened? Did you hear a gunshot?
When he was shot? I may have. I don't know. I couldn't hear anything over the glass exploding.
Did you kill Lely?
What? Why would I put myself through this? Insanity. Get myself cornered like this. He wouldn't have died if it weren't for me. I know that. But I would never hurt him.
All kinds of crazy things happen when drugs are involved. Sweet, sweet drugs.
Downstairs people have this crazy idea that you killed him.
I'm sad to hear that. They must have said it in some fit of frustration or under pressure. They couldn't have meant it. I've talked to them after it happened. No one has implicated me.
It's okay if you did it in self-defense.
I did not kill him to defend myself from rape. I told you before. That wasn't what happened.
Drugs were an integral part of your relationship. Perhaps they contributed to its end.
What does that mean?
Do drugs make you aggressive?
No. People don't take drugs to kill each other. They take them to feel okay with each other.
That's true.
I thought Ravachol would be more enlightened about this. Especially since you've taken them yourself.
Oh, really?
The lieutenant gives you a sideways glance.
I do drugs to keep working, cleaning up this shit you've created here.
I'm sorry. I withdraw what I said. I didn't mean to judge anyone.
Okay, I'd like to answer some other questions, miss.
Like what?
Could the people after you have killed him?
That's the first thing that went through my head when I heard the glass break.
And?
I thought they'd found me. They've killed him to punish me. All last week, I've tried not to talk to anyone or be seen with anyone so they wouldn't be hurt. I've come to understand, however, this is paranoia. What happened didn't have anything to do with me.
But maybe it did.
I just don't know. I don't know anything.
We can't go after Loose Cap. Not yet. There are other, saner leads.
I don't ask you to, Lieutenant. If there's one thing I know, it's that you'll get nothing from there.
Why did you call the cops if you are hiding?
Because I'm an idiot.
I don't think so. Why did you?
You have to understand, the people around here, no one was making the call, and he kept rotting. And then they picked his clothes off, and that little fucker threw stones at him. He kept throwing stones at him for 3 days. I could hear the thud, thud. So I called you. I hope with all my heart it's not the last thing I do in Ravishol.
When was the window changed?
Last week. Angus and Titus's brother, I think he's called Tibbs, took care of it.
So Angus is also Titus's brother.
You should have another look at that window after this. Reconstruct the scene. It's right there.
In her bedroom, inside?
Yes, you see the glass sparkling out of the corner of your eye.
I think we're done here for now.
She nods, silently. She doesn't even smoke. Just picks up the cold coffee and holds it in her hands. He's thinking, are we done here? Or...
A drama check.
But we are awake, sire. She has been forthcoming with sordid details women usually conceal. Most shocking details of the sexual kind. We are a bulwark, unbreached. If you have doubts, just give us one example of deceit. Just one, and we will gladly change our minds.
Just a profession. Could the lurid explanation conceal something less sensational but more illegal?
Who is this personhood picking these seditious options? Can't you see the detective grows weary of your malcontent? Stop staring at her eyes and say something pertinent to the case. This is making you look like an amateur. It looks like this one's not waking up. You'll have to do it without pushing her further. At least for now.
Okay. Oh yeah, I got this thought completed.
Anti-object task force. Behold, the anti-object task force has assembled. God's avenging angel, arrayed against the lower emanations of the darkened one. Shoe racks, tape recorders, motor carriages, and doors. So many doors. You're not just pounding it all to pieces. You're reforging the universe, from the anvil of the heavens to the worms below. Indulge in it. Be bold. Have an impact on the shape of creation. Out of the furnace of your rage. A new reality. Also, you should trash your room again.
I should trash my room again. Attacking physical objects heals damage. All physical learning caps raised by 1. It did open all of the physical instrument things I have. That's cool.
The same small, heavy door. No lock in sight. You give it another, more ferocious kick. The door still does not move.
Demolish the place.
I don't see how this is going to give new results. There must be another way in there.
Oh,
Through the kitchen door, perhaps. Let's explore rather than destroy.
It could be that your eyesight is still too poor to notice it, behind that window.
let's see if we can now look at this window.
This window is pristine on the inside, unlike the one next to it. Light from the desk lamp reflects off the glass, in an untarnished golden halo.
Okay, what happened here?
Golden light melts away into the blue, glassy darkness of your mind. In it are two neon-lit shapes, a man and a woman on the single bed.
What position are they in?
Like the witness said, the man is kneeling, the woman is on her back. It's the night of March 4th and a shot has just been fired. The man looks directly at the woman. The shot's possible directions converge in his mouth, a ray cast from somewhere outside, entering his brain.
Where does it come from?
From the roof outside, location A prime. The glass fractures around the bullet hole. Shards face inwards like a corona behind the woman's back.
Inspect ghostly figures.
The man does not know the bullet has entered his brain. He never will. Death comes faster than the realization.
Have a look at point A, the roof.
The ray cast from the man's mouth unravels into a fan of possible directions, all on the roof at first. The shot could have come from any of them. This is composite location A prime, most likely of the origin points.
Shouldn't there be gun residue outside?
There could have been. Then the rain and slush and wind washed it away. This was more than a week ago.
So I'm what, 80% sure the roof is where the shot was made from?
72%, with a weapon that fires jacketed ammunition, likely a rifle. This is a good short distance, but not too short. The perpetrator aimed with their back against the railing, or possibly kneeling for precision. This would explain why it only took them one shot. The lights were on in here. Outside it was dark. It was like shooting fish in an aquarium, a well-lit aquarium. The victim opened his mouth to let the bullet in. Neither of them would have seen anything outside in the darkness, too busy with their own bodies.
Could the shot have come from the inside of the room?
Point X would contradict the woman's testimony, rendering the entire proposition void. These figures would be wiped out, detective.
Are there any arguments against A prime, the roof?
None that you've found thus far, but that doesn't mean there aren't any.
Could there have been another point of origin further away?
That's a 28%, yes. In this model, the shot could have come from a greater distance. Nothing excludes the possibility. Should we extrapolate to include every possible point of origin in Martinez?
Extrapolate radius include all of the Martinez.
According to your map of the district, this shot could have come from a wide angle of locations, starting with the northern edge of the abandoned boardwalk, ending with an islet in the bay. Let's call them B prime.
Okay, more precisely?
B prime for boardwalk, B double prime for Land's End, and B triple prime for the islet, detective. There may be smaller points in between, but those are too fine to zoom in on.
Have a look at point B, the boardwalk.
700 meters away. The likeliest of these B positions, 20% chance. A skilled sniper could have made the shot, provided he had a safe sniper's nest. Even with the light on inside, we're talking military training. At that distance, the perpetrator would have had to take wind direction into account.
Have a look at point B, Land's End.
1.2 kilometers away. The least likely of these positions. Let's say 3%. A truly skilled sniper could have done it, possibly from a tent. No, too far-fetched.
Have a look at point B, the islet.
1 kilometer away. An unlikely point of origin. Beyond the docks somewhere, on an islet in the Bay of Martinez perhaps. There are islets there, badly charted as they may be. The shot would have been a small miracle, 5% likelihood. There is an extremely narrow field of view from the bay to the window, between Rue de Saint-Ghislain 10 and 33A. The angle would have been extreme and access to the islets is questionable.
Kim, do you think the shot could have come from further than the roof in Martinez?
From where, precisely?
Let's say boardwalk, Land's End, islet.
I see you have given this a lot of thought. Are those the locations you've singled out in addition to the roof? And what is the likelihood, in your opinion, that it came from a further distance?
Much less than from the roof, but still.
Okay, well, We should see if there is gunshot residue or sniper nests if we go down the coast. Rule these spots out one by one.
Okay.
It would be the diligent thing to do. Until then, personally, I'm going with the roof version. A simple hypothesis can be wrong, but it's something to build on.
Blink. Okay, that's it. Let's get going. Let's go and talk with Titus Hardy again.
Behind the dockworkers, a ceiling height window. The hawthorn branches scrape the glass like bony fingers.
Okay, so perception.
Behind the dockworkers,
Okay, we can
a
try.
ceiling height window. Nothing, as before. Just black branches.
What's this weirdo cop doing now, huh? Window shopping?
I think he's trying to find dirt on us, in our box. It's what they do, Shanks. Did you know policemen are sometimes called pigs?
Wow, no. I hadn't heard that.
Yeah, because they like to sniff around in dirt.
Okay, so now I'm a little scared because I'm running low on everything, but we can still try and talk to Titus.
It's you again. What is it?
Okay, talk to Classe. Now I need to talk up to Ruby.
Why?
I'm gonna level with you. She's the next link in this chain that leads me to Lely's killer.
Sounds like you're making her a suspect in this. Not on my watch, you're not. Ruby's one of us. We're not gonna throw her under your moral intern steamroller. Fuck that shit.
And fuck you too, moral
Ruby is missing. If you hide from the police in a murder investigation, you become a suspect. You know how it works, guys.
That's nothing. That's just legalese. You don't even have a sound theory. I don't want to be rude, but we're trying to get some R&R here. Think you could fuck off now?
I think we'll keep sticking around, Titus. You'll be surprised at how quickly a theory presents itself if you keep looking.
A logic check. Almost impossible. I'm not even gonna try that check, okay? Because it's way too hard. I don't know if we can do anything to make it easier. Okay, so we can see now. You need to get them to open up. Have you fully explored the whirling? Analyzed the site of the murder? Truly and thoroughly integrate Class A. All this might make convincing them easier. So we are currently locked out of all of these. So that's good. But yeah, I think we are gonna go to the other side of the here. Let's just explore now. Okay, so here we are. Some banged up oil canister here. What is this thing here?
A banged-up motor carriage lies half submerged in the icy water, slowly sinking into the Insulindian Ocean. Only the cabin top, rear wheels, and the engine remain visible.
A carriage in the sea, where did this come from?
My guess is it started its journey from the plaza, where it backed through the fence.
Let's investigate, Kim.
I agree. We should definitely investigate.
You get a sudden, sinking feeling. Stomach acid comes up as you look at the motor carriage in the deep, dark, cold water.
Run your hand over a cold metal.
The motor carriage is properly stuck in the ice. Getting it out would require a team of specialists.
What is this make of this MC? Can I see the logo?
The logo is too deep in the murky water. You can't make it out, but you do see a monkfish float by.
How long has it been here?
The ice hasn't closed around the vehicle yet. My guess is it's been here since last Saturday or Sunday.
Well, looks like Jacob Irving's journey came to an abrupt end.
Your mocking tone finds no response, but the motion of the waves.
Did you say something, Lieutenant?
I did not. But I'd say it has been here since last Saturday or Sunday.
What should we do?
Let's wait for the low tide and see what's inside.
How long will it take for the low tide to come in?
I don't know. An hour or two, tops?
Sit on the swing and wait for the tide to recede.
As you sit down in the old, rusty playground, the world around you becomes very silent. Nothing but the sound of seagulls high above in the sky, echoing like distant laughter. Ice cracks around the blue motor carriage in the sea.
Hold on, it looks very blue.
Yes, it does.
What's your favorite blue thing?
Let me think about it.
Whistle a tune.
Spit flies from your mouth to your moustache, your chest, the ground before you. No sound though. The lieutenant must think it's rather funny. He smiles and quickly turns away.
Keep blowing.
That's right. Just keep at it. It will come to you.
With his lips puckered, the lieutenant lets out a beautiful, melodic trill that puts even the insulindic thrush to shame. You hear the sound echo on the large body of water. Clouds race across the spring sky, and suddenly you just feel better about everything. The clouds pass in the sky, and the shadow of the swing moves like the hour hand on a timepiece. 30 minutes have passed.
30 minutes have passed.
Looks like this might take a while. Time to present a good topic for discussion.
Would you rather sit on an anthill for an hour or stand in a river of leeches?
Well, historically, leeches have been used to prevent and even cure many ailments.
Clouds on the horizon grow darker, and the shadow of the swing set keeps climbing. You hear the distant rumble of the city. 30 minutes pass.
Do you think I will ever find my gun?
God, I hope so.
I've been thinking if I put enough time into eating right and exercising, I could turn into a living weapon, then I wouldn't need a gun.
Your voice echoes on the water, strange and out of place in the environment. 30 more minutes pass.
Can you make out the marker now?
Detective, I've been able to make out the mark ever since we arrived. I find it odd that you haven't. It's a Coupris, Model 40. It is a simple and rugged machine, favored by working men, government offices, firefighters, animal control people, you know, those kinds of people.
Squinty eyes, is that a number on its side?
Yes, 41. What do you think it stands for?
41 is his rank in the underground racing rubbish bin.
But it could also be the number of a police precinct. Precinct 41. Your precinct.
A massive pit opens up in your stomach, and the most terrible feeling comes over you. No. Just nope. Say no to this, Harry.
Oh my god, it's mine! I drove my car into the sea!
Yes, your car is in the sea. Face it, so we can start dealing with this.
No!
The lieutenant just shakes his head.
I'm afraid so, yes. It looks like you drove your police motor carriage into the sea after you jumped across a canal.
Maybe I was in pursuit of someone.
Of whom? I don't think so. If anything, you were probably drunk.
Probably. Try definitely.
How did I get it? How do we get it out?
Detective, we don't. A rescue operation really isn't viable at this point.
So it's just gonna be there like that?
I'm afraid it will have to be there like that for many years. Look at it. Parts of it might be salvageable, but overall, this machine is a write-off.
Can I still fix it?
That is very unlikely. All the electrics are toast. That goes for the electromagnetic steering and brake systems as well. You'd be lucky to find one undamaged component in there. In a few months, there will be nothing but rust left of this vehicle. It'll be cheaper to buy a new one. Well, not cheaper. This motor carriage costs 40,000 real. But in the long run, it still makes more sense to buy a new machine than try to refurbish this.
People are gonna be angry at me, aren't they?
Let's face it, this is a substantial loss to your district's budget. I mean, my station only has 4 other vehicles in addition to my kinema.
They're not gonna take me back after this, are they?
People are more valuable than machines. Training a police officer is even more costly.
The badge, the gun, and now this?
The lieutenant adjusts his glasses and doesn't say anything.
But at least we can see what's in there now.
Yes, let's go take a look.
There's an RCM jacket and there is an RCM badge. So yeah, we found my badge. Let's interact with our badge.
A police badge on which you see the photo of a man. You. Some seaweed is stuck to the back.
I found my badge.
At least something good came out of all this.
Study the badge.
Encased between 2 durable plastic sheets is a bluish card with lines of information and a watermark in the shape of the street grid of Revachol West. You see a photo, a name, a rank, a document number, the date of issue, And in the lower right corner, your precinct.
Look at the photo.
The man keeps winking at you with his green-grey eyes. The photo is old, no doubt about that.
How old?
8, maybe 10 years. The guy in the picture is rather good-looking. He's got a nice haircut and is distinctly lacking in massive sideburns.
And he's winking. Why?
What do you think? His face is already contorted by the expression, although it looks less grotesque on him than it does on you now. The badge in your hand shines as you rotate it, catching light. You see lines of information on it, and a shining watermark.
Name, Harrier Dubois.
Harrier. That's long for Harry. So you are Harry. Evrard was half right. Probably not a lot of people know your full name. Whoever told him you're Harry Dubois didn't.
Strange, it doesn't say Raphael Ambrios Cousteau.
Not strange at all. Your name is Harrier Dubois, like it says on your police badge.
What kind of name is Harrier?
It's a wartime name, revolutionary. The kind mothers give their sons during troubled times, like Undying or Boxer or Ironhide.
But I don't want to be Harrier Dubois. Don't accept it.
Why? It's a cool name. I like it. Besides, you're Harry anyway. No one's ever called Harrier.
The badge in your hands shines as you rotate it, catching light. You see lines of information.
Rank.
Lieutenant W. Freighter.
What is Lieutenant W. Freighter?
The lieutenant is a rank above sergeant and below captain. It's the highest rank in the RCM that still does field work. I am a lieutenant.
And W. Schaefer?
The title of Freighter is added to your rank when you decline a promotion to a higher rank. In your case, captain. You have declined twice, thus you're W. Freighter.
Declined?
There are many reasons one would do this. The rank above you in your precinct's décomptage might be taken, or sometimes promoted officers do not want to replace their superiors out of respect. And sometimes they just prefer the type of police work available to their current rank, in your case, lieutenant.
What's... I don't know that word. I thought my rank was drunk.
Yes, apparently you've had a rather successful career in the past, and this leads me to believe maybe your current situation is only temporary.
I'm afraid there are no ex-alcoholics.
People have been through worse and gotten back on their feet, Lieutenant W. Freighter.
What's... I don't know that word.
Décomptage is the hierarchical system employed by the Revachol Citizens Militia. It means counting down to twos. The lowest rank is junior officer, usually teenagers. Then there are the patrol officers, then sergeants, lieutenants, and then a captain. That's basically it, except for a few kinks.
What kinks?
Kinks like satellite officers and the additionally a freighter rank I already explained.
Wait, satellite officers?
You are given the title of satellite officer if your partner is quickly promoted through the ranks and you rise with him. You don't seem to be a satellite.
So you've been putting up with all my bullshit because I'm superior.
No, I've been putting up with you because despite an unconventional approach, you are doing good police work. It matters more than driving your motor carriage into the sea. And now we've even found your badge.
Turn back to the document.
Such a small yet precious thing. Expensive paper caught between thick plastic, like a fly in amber. It reads...
Serial?
That's just the serial number. Revachol, Jamrock, Precinct 41, with some numbers thrown in there for good measure.
Date of issue?
4 months ago. I'm guessing that's when you were promoted to the rank of Lieutenant W. Freighter. A new badge usually comes with a new rank. You seem to have been doing well then.
The case created a lot of edge you have to take off. The death march really gets us going.
Precinct 41.
Yes, it's the designation of your precinct. 41, like mine says 57. The 57th is mostly industrial harbor, a lot of asphalt. The 41st is...
What?
It's a tough station to work in. You have all of Jamrock to cover. That district should have 3 precincts, but money is what it is. But then again, it's a legendary district, and a hell of a station too. It must be an honor and a curse to work with people like Price, McCoy, Berdiaeva.
The badge in your hand shines as you rotate it, catching light. You see lines of information on it, and a a shining watermark.
Put the badge away. Okay, it doesn't say Raphael Ambrius Cousteau. So yeah, we are Harrier Dubois. Not Harry Dubois, but what's inside these barrels? Some speed. I found more speed. Hell yeah. But yeah, there's a lot to explore here. I think I missed something back there. I need to go